Hello and welcome to the News Review program. I am Fatu Kamara, and coming up on the show, the Ministry of Justice holds press conference and police warns of imminent crackdown on vehicles that have adornment lights. This and a lot more coming up in the News Review program, and we're also getting word on the passing of Cheikh Béthio Thioune in Senegal. We will be talking to a Senegalese journalist who will join us later in the program to tell us some more information. But right now, what we would do is to take a look at the newspapers, and we will start with the Standard newspaper. And the Standard newspaper has that the APRC deny allegiance talks with President Barrow. And it says the APRC leader, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, has rubbished reports that his party is engaged in negotiations with President Adama Barrow for a possible future alliance. In Sen FM exclusive to be aired this Sunday, the former House Majority Leader said, "We have not discussed Jammeh's return on any plan of political allegiance with Barrow, and there are no such talks." He went on to say that, "I want to assure all our supporters that the APRC will continue to defend the interests of this country, and we will not hesitate to challenge Barrow whenever we deem it necessary." And Gunjur seeks justice, a slam prolonged police investigation. There's also one, the Standard. And it says the people of Gunjur have expressed their grief at the seemingly lack of progress by the police in bringing the killer of Buba Jammeh to book almost 2 months since his death. Jammeh, a native of Gunjur, was shot dead by one Buba Drameh of Berending during an arms skirmish over the communal land bordering the towns of Kombo South and villages. An audio transcript admitted in NIA 9 trial. Justice Kumba Silla, the trial judge of the NIA 9, yesterday submitted an audio transcript of the NIA 9. The audio transcripts are excerpts of the interview radio of the NIA into the death of Solo Sandeng. And Senegal sentenced Murid leader to 10 years for murder. That's Serigne Béthio. We're getting word that he passed away. So later on, very short while, we will call Senegal and we will have a Senegalese journalist talk to us about this news, this unfortunate news, and also his sentencing that came in yesterday. And defense objects to tendering of video transcript in Yankuba Baji and Co trial. That's what we just read to you on the Standard. And Gunjur protesters demand justice. That's also on the death of Buba Jammeh. And our priority is to inform Senegambians, and that's from the Senegalese ambassador Fode Seka. That's also on the Point newspaper. And Gambia-EU partnership based on shared values, and that is coming from the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mamadou Tangara. So right now we will call Senegal and try to find out what is happening with this case about the passing of Cheikh Béthio Thioune. We want to get more information on that. We're going to call a Senegalese journalist right now so he can tell us what exactly is happening over there. So just bear with us a moment while we make this phone call. And to those of us who are just joining us, you're reminded that you're watching the Fatu Network News Review. I am sitting in for Omar Wali, who's currently out of town. So yeah, until he's here, I'll be presenting the news. Hi, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Kande Fatu la Fatu Kamara, léegi yangi en direct, yangi live fii si Fatu Network si suñ studio bi fii. Waaw, dañ dégg léegi nii ñu ngi gis Sénégal. maa ngi fi rek defuma dara waaye ñu ngi gis Sénégal léegi nii paper yëpp a ngi binda ñu ne kii di Sëñ Béthio dafa génn àddina gannaaw biñ ko sentencé woon pour mu waroon dem kaso lii si diiri fukki at lan moo xew foofu.
waaw ñun de comme ni ko yégee noonu lañu ko yégee léegi presse bi ñëpp bi fu mu toll nii ñu koy waxtaanee ñu ne Serigne Béthio dafa génn àddina dafa dëdd àdduna dafa noppalu. mu doon tiis woo xam ne daanaka yëngal na Sénégal yëngal na ñi nga xam ne ñoom la ñuy woowee ay jantakun
yi waaw
mu doon lu triste mu doon lu daw yaram en tout cas ñun ñëpp ñoo ko yëgandoo génn àdduna ñëpp ñoo ngi koy waxtaanee amul kenn koo xam ne daal fu mu toll nii doonul loo xam ne dafa doonul tiis ci yow.
léegi lii naka la lii xewee parce que démb rek moom mu ngi si journal yëpp ñu ngi wax ne dem nañ ko te wax nañ ne moom dafa war a tëdd fukki at léegi wax boobu génn rek tey loolu tombeek tiis bii nii naka la ko nit ñi gisee ndax li nga xam ne moom lañ wax ne dañ koy sentence nekk na lu ci bokk wala dafa feebaroon moom ci boppam.
waaw ba muy jóge fii nag daa demoon faju France. mu ngi nekkoon Bordeaux. dafa demoon faju ci ginnaawam la ñu def procès bi de toute façon. ñu jugé ko fii en tout cas daan ko fukki at yoo xam ne waroon na ko tëdd jeel mu doon sanction boo xam ne en tout cas tëj boo xam ne dafa waroon ànd ak lu ñuy woowee fii travaux forcés. xaw ma
hard labour waaw ak hard labour dafa labour
ci anglais.
hard labour waaw
voilà c'est ça. voilà mu doon en tout cas mu nekkoon sax moom it daan boo xam ne andi woon na fi wérante bu doy waar. ñii nee nañu citoyen la waroon nañ ko tëj normalement ñii nee na noonu atam permettre wu ko woon mu mën a tëdd prison ñu nekkoon ci werante woowu diggante démb ak tey léegi ni véritable lu mel nii mu am mu doon loo xam ne daal fu mu toll nii yëngal na réew mi.
moom ay presque ñaata at la am moom
jàpp na
moom ñaata at la am.
en tout cas am na nee nañu juróom benn ba juróom-ñaari fukki at ci diggante boobu la nekk.
ay 70
gars yi xamuñu ko exactement ñaata la am.
ñu ngi doon wax ay 70 léegi moom lan moo xewoon nii bañ ko war a tëj nii ak jant ku nii parce que waxoon nañ ne dafa am ñu reyoon foofu ñu nëbbaleen fa pour nga wax ñu rek pour ñi nga xam ne xamuñ histoire yi sëñ Béthio si case bii nii nga delloo ñu ginnaaw tuuti wax ñu lu xewoon li war a tax ñu bëggoon ko tëj 10 ans.
waaw 2012 mooy 2012.
waaw.
de fale ci Mbuur ci këram bu fa nekk. la ñu reyoon ñaari nit. ñooñu ñoo ngi tudd kenn ki mu ngi tudd Baara Sow. keneen ki du tudd Ababacar. ñu reyoon leen ci këram. ñu tëjoon leen nag ci 2012 reye leen dem suul leen en tout cas suul boo xam ne dafa àndoon ak yàkkamti. dellawuñu ko ñu nëbboon ko suul ko léegi moom ak ki nga xam ne mu ngi tuddoon Serigne Khadim Seck. Abdoulaye Diouf Mamadou Gueye Aliou Diallo Mohamed Sène Adama Sow Ali Diouf Moussa Dieye ak kenn ki nga xam ne mu ngi tudd Mortala Diop ñoom ñëpp ak keneen sax ki tuddoon Samba Ngom ak beneen Samba Fall ak Demba Kébé ñoom ñëpp ñu jàppoon leen nag tëj ensuite ci diggante bi ñu daal di génne seen Béthio moom mu bàyyoon ko mu ñibbi liste de sept ñu deseen prison alors ay taalibeem lañu Baara Sow ak Ababacar ñoo ñëpp ay taalibeem lañ ñu doon werante ci biir këram ñu bay yëkkati fa ay xeex en tout cas ñi si des ñu rey ñaari ñooñu ñu dem denc leen dem suul leen te nguur yëgu ko ñooñu seen i njaboot yëguñu ko ensuite ci la ñu jàppale woon nag seen Béthio moom ñu tëjaale ko parce que jàpp nañ ne lu mel noonu ba xewee sa biir kër da nga war a woote nguur yëgal leen ne am na lu fi xew musiba bu fi xew. defu ko ensuite ñu toppee ko xam musiba bu xew ci sa biir kër ba pare nga nëbbu ko yi mel noonu daal lañ ko jàppee woon 2012 moom la ñuy wax defe naa ci anglais.
2012
waaw ñu jàppoon leen tëj ko. lu mel noonu la léegi bu loolu demee depuis 2012 depuis 2012. ay ñooñu ñi si deset ñoo ngi woon ñu ngi doon si jeel bi. moom ñu bàyyoon ko mu génn nag ensuite ba barki démb du moins la ñu defaat en tout cas jugement bi ñu attewaat ko moom ñu jàpp ne dañ ko war a tëj fukki at ak tëj boo xam ne dafay ànd ak liggéeyoo nguur te doo fayeeku. moom la ñuy wax ci anglais wax nga ko léegi def naa.
with hard labor waaw.
voilà
loolu lañ ko waroon tëj léegi moom nag Sénégal.
waaw ñi si bari na mooy comme Serigne Khadim Kébé Abdoulaye Diouf Mamadou Gueye du moom kese am na ñoo xam ne tëj nañu leen ci lu toll ci 15 years. ak hard labor. noonu daal noonu la demee. ci fu mu toll nii ci Sénégal.
léegi xam naa ne
boo xam ne quand même marqué nañu ñun ñëpp.
xam naa ne Sénégal seen newspaper yi foofu su dara xewee fu mu nekk nii maa ngi gis ñëpp a ngi binda breaking news mbaa nit ñi nekkuñ di wax ne liñ ko tëj xëj na looloo ko tiital mu dal di tiit si loolu dal di jël feebar bi gën ko yekkati xam nga loolu tamit day am te mu nekk ni koo xam ne xëj na pour moom tëj mu nekk loo xam ne daf koy gisee gàcce fooguloo ne kenn mbaa nit ñi nekkuñ di wax ne loolu xëj na contribute na si.
waaw daanaka daal soriwul loolu. parce que tamit ñu bëri yëguñu woon ne moom dafa feebar dafa tawat ba dem faju ci France. mais boo xoolee commentaire yi nga xam ne moom la ñuy def ci li nga xam ne moom la ñu bind.
social media
te yëgal la dëjëm en tout cas genre yi mel noonu daal moom lay xaw a nuuru ñi jàpp nañ ne sax am na ñu dem sax ba naan véritablement génnul àddina benn genre lay la bu ñuy teg rek pour ñu muccal ko prise wala en tout cas jeel bi. commentaire bu nekk fu mu toll nii nee am na ñoo xam ne sax gëmuñu ne génn na àddina. parce que dafa gaaw xam nga tamit ñu fàtte ne démb am na li fi xewoon ñun jaale woon nañu fi benn kilifa diine mooy ki nekk Kaolack. finalement ñu mujjee dégg ne génnil àdduna donc bu ñu tegaatee benn fan annoncé waat ne encore yëgalaat nit ñi ne am na ku génn àddina dafay am jaxasoo bu muy andi ci bopp bi.
kon dafa am ñuy wax ne ku dem sa génnul àddina affaire yi tëj bi ñu wax ak yooyu moo tax ñuy jël affaire bi indi wax bi waaye sax moom sax génnul àddina am na ñu nekk di wax loolu right.
waaw am na ñuy wax ne génn àddina parce que comme ni ma la ko fàttalee rek démb. am na daal ñi fi ñun ñii ci lañu bokkoon bindoon nañu lu mel noonu. yeneen i si tamit bindoon lu mel noonu ñu yëgal ne kilifa bi nga xam ne moo yor ñàkk ne dëkk fële ca Kaolack. yëgaloon nañu ne dafa génn àddina. ñu ensuite ñu rendre compte ne véritablement kooku génne na àdduna donc boo ci demee benn fan yëgalaat ne beneen kilifa tamit génne na àdduna te yow mi bindoon loolu démb. ñëwaat ne loolu amul dafay xaw a jaxas xelu nit ñi.
dëgg la
moo tax su mu tollee am na ñoo xam ne sax gëmuñu ne génn na àdduna quoi. donc werante boobu mu ngi fii ñii jàpp nañ ne génnul àdduna ñii jàpp nañ ne génnul àdduna bi dañ koy nëbb rek France pour bu fi ñëwee ñu bañ ko tëj ñii quand même gëm nañu ne voilà génn na àdduna ñu ngi koy ñaanal yàlla yërëm ko.
familleem waxuñ dara maanaam familleem génnuñ wax dara wala Touba amul benn communication bu jógee Touba wala ci njobootam.
waaw xam nga léegi nii bu ñu yégee ne gaañu na matagul sax.
une heure de temps
fanweeru minute. waaw matagul une heure de temps du lu yàgg. te ñooñu balaa ñoo wax ci loolu rek defe naa dañuy concerté wu daje seen biir toog. xool lal lu ñuy génnee comme wax ndax méngoo na ak li am wala amul. dañuy vérifier déjà xam naa dafa jotagul mais du yàgg ñu def ko mais li ma wóor ba wóor ne. fu mu toll nii par rapport ak ñun ñëpp presse bi média en ligne yi lu ñu wax kii di Cheikh Béthio Thioune nekkoon xalif général Thiantacoune yi génn na àdduna foofu ca France bu mu nekkoon mooy Bordeaux.
kon Cheikh Kandeh di la wax jërëjëf si information bi thank you very much pour sa waxtu bi nga jël pour wax ak ñun fii ci Fatou Network.
waaw ñoo ngi leen di jaajëfal Gambie ak Sénégal benn réew la li fi xew wala dafay mel ni foofu la xewee li xew foofu tamit dafay mel ni fii la xewee ndax ñun ñoo bokk lu ñuy dund ci information ñooy bokk lu ñuy waxtaanee ci li xew ci ñaari dëkk yi. waaw
loolu moom dëgg la parce que Gambien itam maa ngi gis ñëpp a ngi binda si live bi ñuy def lii ñu ngi koy ñaanal ne nekk na loo xam ne ñoom itamit métti na si ñëpp kon di wax jërëjëf any information boo si am rek ñu ngi bàyyi xel dinañ xool su ko defee dinañ ko communicate thank you very much.
waaw ñu leen di jaajëfal yéen ngi def liggéey bu rafet te ñoo xamal leen ne ñoo ngi leen di déglu fii bu baax a baax di la suivre yow ak Fatou Network bi ñoo ngi koy suivre bu baax a baax.
ok merci jërëjëf.
jërëjëf Fatou.
Okay, journalist Cheikh Kandeh there in Senegal talking to us about Sëñ Béthio Thioune. We're getting word that he passed away. This came after he was sentenced to 10 years in prison with hard labor. And the word we're getting is that he was not feeling okay. He went to to France in Bordeaux, and he happened to pass away from there. Right now, what Kandeh said, the information going around social media is that some people do not believe he actually passed away. They think this is kind of like some way that they want to hide him from the people and also stop him from going to prison. But he said other people are saying he passed away. But right now, there is no word from Touba and also from his family members. So as soon as we have word, we will definitely let you all know. Meanwhile, we go to news from in the Gambia. Justice Minister Abubakar Tambadou has said that the aim of the security sector reform is to get security service in the Gambia that reflects the current geographic, political, social and economic realities of our country and in response to needs as a modern democratic state. Tambadou was speaking to journalists on Tuesday in Banjul during a press conference. More in this report.
A brief summary of recent developments in some areas of our activities and then take questions from you as usual. I'll start with the TRRC. As we all now know, the public hearings have now commenced, and we will all admit that they are doing remarkably well. It actually shows the level of planning, organization, and preparation that was, and all the other efforts actually we have put into the setup. I am pleased that they have now taken off the ground. The government, through the ministry in particular, will of course continue to provide the requisite support to the TRRC so that they can execute their mandate and attain their objectives in accordance with the Act, the TRRC Act. The National Human Rights Commission is also now in place. You would recall that following a very elaborate process, the 5 commissioners under the chairmanship of Mr. Emmanuel Diouf were appointed by His Excellency the President following their selection by the National Assembly. You'll also recall that the long list of potential candidates was exclusively reviewed by civil society organizations. Exclusively by civil society organizations. I am sure that in the coming days and weeks and months, we will hear more about their activities from them as well. The Janneh Commission has of course submitted its report to the President as required by law. The President now has up to 6 months to either publish the report or any part of it, or not to do so with reasons. I will be in a better position to inform you about the President's decision, hopefully, in my next briefing with you. In terms of legislative reforms, this will be the focus of my ministry in the course of this year, 2019. On media laws, my ministry has been working closely with the Ministry of Information and Communications Infrastructure and Article 19 for a comprehensive review of the media law regime in the country. This involved the promulgation of a Media Services Act that will consolidate and modernize a variety of currently disparate and often obsolete media-related laws, such as the Newspaper and Broadcasting Stations Act of 1944 or the Telegraph Stations Act of 1913. These laws clearly have no place in a modern democracy. We have also embarked on a comprehensive amendment of the Information and Telecommunications Act with the aim of removing all the bad and unconstitutional media laws enacted by the previous administration, and also to provide for laws that will facilitate the exercise of the right to freedom of expression. On reform of the criminal justice legislative framework, with the support of UNODC and UNDP and the gracious funding from the Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, a team of local Gambian consultants have now been engaged by the UN following a competitive recruitment process to conduct a holistic review of our criminal laws and procedure. On reform of our electoral laws, we are aware that the ongoing constitutional review process will likely address the fundamental aspects of elections in the country. Notwithstanding, we have initiated the process of electoral reform at the level of legislation, with a view primarily to review and amend the Elections Act of 1996, which had its genesis from the Elections Decree number 78 of 1996, in order to reflect a modern democratic practice and ensure a transparent, credible, and level playing field for all actors in the political arena. On prisons, a comprehensive review of the Prisons Act of 1954 is already underway, led by the Ministry of Interior, and again, with the gracious funding from COICA, and in partnership with UNODC, an international consultant is being recruited to assist in this exercise. We are now at the final review stage of a strengthened anti-corruption legislation following comments we received from the UNODC recently. We have also initiated contact and requested the assistance of Parliamentarians for Global Action, PGA, for the promulgation of an International Crimes Act to include the crimes contained in the Rome Statute of the ICC, among others. We have also initiated contact and requested the assistance of Parliamentarians for Global Action, PGA, for the promulgation of an International Crimes Act to include the crimes contained in the Rome Statute of the ICC, among others. On the agriculture fertilizer case, we have conveyed our opinion to the Gambia Police Force on 26 February 2019, recommending that charges be preferred against 3 individuals and that the police should conduct the prosecution of the case. On the Faraba Banta PIU case, we have reviewed the Faraba Banta Commission's report and concluded that given the entire circumstances of the events, the charge of murder should be substituted with the charge of manslaughter. The PIU personnel implicated in the killings will thus be prosecuted on the basis of manslaughter. As many of you may also be aware, only last week I led a delegation to the 64th Ordinary Session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights in Egypt, where the Gambia formally presented its combined report, or state report, should I say, on the human rights situation in our country for the first time in 25 years since 1994. The report was prepared in consultation with government ministries and departments, civil society organizations, including national and international NGOs.
The Gaitaf Special Economic Zone is a 160-hectare mixed-use business park strategically located within the boundaries of Banjul International Airport, the Gambia. It is the only economic zone located within an airport in West Africa. Gaitaf Special Economic Zone is segmented into 4 separate zones: Commercial Zone, Industrial and Light Manufacturing, Logistics and Warehousing, Residential Zone. It is a highly secured economic zone with top-notch infrastructure, with eco-friendly buildings and beautiful landscaping. With attractive incentives and access to a pool of labor within the Gambia and the sub-region, the Gaitaf Special Economic Zone has already completed warehouses available to investors. Located less than 30 minutes away from the international seaport of Banjul, investors in the Special Economic Zone will enjoy a unique proximity to major markets around the world, including Africa, Europe, America, and Asia. For additional information, please visit www.gaitaf.com.
The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, right there, Honorable Abubakar Ba Tambadou, during a press conference, he did mention that there are comprehensive reviews of the media law. That's a very welcome development. But right now, Omar Wali is also in the car, and he's also hearing word about Sheikh Béthio Thioune. So we're going to call him. He was talking to some journalists over there to find out what he knows. Hello, Omar. Hello, Omar.
Hello, yeah.
Yes, you're live on the news review. What are you hearing about Béthio Thioune? Is it true that he passed away?
Yes. I'm standing here with a Senegalese journalist who has just confirmed to me that he passed away in France today.
Yes.
And according to him, when he was sentenced to 10 years yesterday.
Yes.
And when that was communicated to him by the lawyer that he has been found guilty and is serving 10 years with hard labor, he had a heart attack and he was rushed to hospital, and today he was pronounced dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. The news must have been very shocking to him. So how is the mood in Senegal right now? You are there standing by a journalist. The public, have they started getting the news now, or they still calm over there?
I think the news is coming now. So, you know, this is a big country, not like Gambia, where when one person dies, even though he's a religious leader,
yes,
but this is Russia, people are going home. And when I look at some of the newspapers this morning, the story was not featured there, it was the conviction. But now that this thing is coming, many people are driving home. Hopefully, it will be carried on the subsequent edition tomorrow and television also.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Omar, for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Omar Wali right there in Dakar, Senegal. He also is talking to a journalist right there, and he said the journalist confirmed to him the passing of Saint Becho Chun. So now we're going to continue with the stories, and to the police force. The Gambia Police Mobile Traffic Unit on Tuesday issued a stern warning to motorists who put color lights on their vehicles. Police officials are asking vehicle owners to remove the lights as they could cause accidents.
The mobile traffic unit of Kanifing, we are trying to look into a situation here which is very important for us. This is very important for us because we have observed that a lot of people have been fitting their vehicles with unprescribed lights that are definitely not according to the Traffic Act and regulations of the Gambia. As you can see, these are all lights that are being removed from motor vehicles that are plying on our highways, and because of the reason being that they are not complying with the traffic regulations as far as the Gambia's traffic code is concerned. Section 31 of the Gambia's traffic regulations has stated very clearly that vehicles plying on the public roads of the Gambia are supposed to have two lights, that is one on each side of the vehicle, with all showing either a yellow color or a white color. But unfortunately, we see that a lot of vehicles are on our roads with different lights. In fact, what is most interesting about this is the fact that many of these people are using these lights only for the purpose of decorating their vehicles. You will see them have vehicles with lights of red, blue, yellow, different colors, only to blind the other road users that are coming in. This, we have observed, has caused a lot of accidents, especially in the night, because many drivers query, or many drivers submit that they are unable to see the road in front of them because of the incoming vehicles lighting system. And this is why the Gambia Police Force has launched a campaign, and an operation to ensure that vehicles that are having these different lights, especially those ones that are not prescribed or authorized, are being removed. We are sending message to the general public, especially to the driver population and vehicle owners, to ensure that they comply with the traffic regulations as far as lights are concerned. Have the lights as prescribed or authorized, and remove all other lights that are on the vehicle, especially ones that are not prescribed or authorized. If you look at this offense, a person that is caught can definitely attract a penalty or a fine of not more than $1,000, but you can even go to jail for 6 months, or both a fine and also a jail term. So this is something very serious, and we want the general public to be very mindful of this. In a similar or separate development, if you look around, there's a vehicle over there. I'm sure you have taken the video of the vehicle. It has a number plate or a registration number bearing that of Bissau-Guinean number plate. What happened here is that we observe in the Gambia right now a lot of vehicles that are driving, a lot of drivers are driving vehicles with right-hand wheels, and vehicles that are in the Gambia, right-hand-sided vehicles are not allowed in the Gambia. So what these people will do is that they will go to Guinea-Bissau, forge the number plate at Guinea-Bissau, then paste it on a vehicle in the Gambia, driving it around town. And whenever the police stop them, they pretend as if this vehicle is from Guinea-Bissau, when actually this vehicle is not even from Guinea-Bissau, but it is a vehicle in the Gambia, not registered and not paying any road tax, but running around in the Gambia just like that. This is why these two vehicles have been caught, this one and the other one. One of them has already been taken to court and has been fined heftily, and the other one is also currently awaiting trial. We want to send word to the general public that anybody who has a vehicle that is right-hand sided, you should be able to go to the police headquarters to get a clearance, only to clear it from the port and to be able to change the right hand to the left hand. If you are able to do this within that reasonable period of time, that's okay. But once you clear it from the port to your house, you are not supposed to drive this vehicle unless and until you fulfill this condition. Thank you very much.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
The police PRO there talking about all these colorful lights that they put on vehicles, and also for those of you in the UK, when you send your cars over here, you have to get them shifted over to yours come in right hand, right? Well, we will continue, and right now another story that we have here is Mekran Connect Agriculture Gambia Limited, a group of West European suppliers of farming needs, connecting agro-technology with agronomy based in Holland, recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Agriculture of the Gambia. The partnership is expected to support the Gambia in agricultural development and agro-business for the Gambian people, as well as help connect the Gambia with top EU brand corporates and Dutch top experience and knowledge. Lamin Kamara of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cornelia Omen of Merchant Connect Agriculture Gambia spoke to the FATU network, and here is this report on the partnership.
I think this is a very important opportunity for the ministry and the country at large, because given their investment area or sector in agriculture is very critical in our economic development. We know as a country, like other countries in sub-Saharan Africa, the way to move forward, to develop and grow faster, is to ensure that the agricultural sector is really improved. So an intervention from their end, given what they have presented, is really, really important for our economic growth in terms of food security, in terms of youth employment, especially where their target is the youth, and given the unemployment situation of the country and the migration that the government is fighting, it's important that we really partner with them. And generally, we all know agriculture in this country, I mean, is critical, and because when you look at it, whenever we have crop failures, we could see growth in this country coming down. We saw it in 2007. We saw in 2011, when there was crop failure, our GDP growth came down to 3 percentage points. We saw it also in 2014 and again in recent years. So there's a high correlation between performance of our economy and agricultural sector. So in order to stabilize and sustain growth and development in this country, it means there must be good investments in the sector. And these investments that we are coming to see from this Dutch company is critical and is important. And we could see from the presentation, it's not only Mekran Connect that is into this. It's a whole group of companies in Europe that are partnering with Mekran Connect. So whatever thing we need in this country, whether it's dairy farming or in crop production or anything that has to do with agriculture, small ruminants, can be available to the Gambia. And when it comes to mechanization, we've also seen the capacity they have in that. And that is really, really what we need to move forward. Yeah, that will still be on negotiation because, 25% of government and 25% from other partners. The authorization of that, we need to also sit down and look at that because that has to do with budgeting. And government has to factor those things, and also be able to get a high-level agreement in terms of that. But by and large, that means if 50% is coming from them in terms of a discount and another 50% or 25% coming from, that is a concession. It's a highly concession facility. And if the opportunity is there, why not? We'll grab it.
In fact, it all started when I was a little boy. And I said to my father one time when watching television, I said, why don't those people just learn to farm there? Because, of course, in the Netherlands, you see on the television problems in Africa with food, etc., hunger people. And I said when I was a child, many years ago, almost 40 years ago, I said, why don't these people learn to farm? Why can't they really help those people? And in fact, after 30 years, I'm now here, also in Gambia and other countries in Africa, just to help people farm. And that's the basic why I'm here, help people farm. So for the people in Gambia to have a production of healthy, payable food. And that's possible. But the people need professional mechanization, they need knowledge, and they need help, support, how to professional farming. And that's what we want to do. The most important people we are going to work with is the youth here in Gambia. The young people, we want to train them, we want to support them in knowledge and experience and to teach them how to farm. That's the basic one where we want to work with. That's the most important thing. After that, we want to, of course, we want to work with the Gambian government. That's important, that they support us in any way they can, because I know the country has its own problems in development, but I hope they can support us in anyhow they can. That's one, and we have the help here from the fine people in Kachang area, North Bank, who are supporting us with their fields, where we can start a practical school, a practical farm, where the youth can work and learn with us how to farm. We have our team with Mr. Akali Conte. He's now living also in Germany, but he's also here in Gambia active with his partners with the Gambian-German partnership. That's one of our team. And we have our own team in the Netherlands with all kinds of Dutch brands, Dutch companies who are working in the field of agriculture, providing machinery, providing seeds, all the farm needs you can imagine. They can deliver it with us. So we have a whole cooperation going on. And that's also one of the key things we want to cooperate. We don't want to buy fields, we don't want to buy farm fields to farm on. No, the fields are for the Gambians, are staying for the Gambians. We want to work with them in cooperation to work together on this. That's very important. That's the issue. It's the total area we are going to start with farming. Of course, in the first it will be relatively small because you have to start somewhere, about 100, 150 hectares. But we are planning, we have already spoken with the Kachang people, about 5,000, 5,500 hectares we can start with. So that's a very good area, big enough to do something good, to make an impression, to make something good happening. The intention is to have this for all the Gambia. But we have to start at one place where people can come to train, like an example. You know, you need some example in the country where other people can come look from, oh yes, wow, this is good. We can do this also. Yes, we can do this also do there. But it's also spreading out to other farmers. You know, farmers from other regions in the Gambia, they will be invited to come to the practical school, to the farm for study days, for training weeks, and they can go to the farm from themselves and they can practical use this new technology, this new knowledge on their own farm.
Mention Connect Agriculture Gambia Limited there, talking about their plans. I'm not surprised they're starting in Badibu, Kachang, and you know what that means because that's where the hunger is. That is all in this edition of the News Review program. We got word, like we were announcing, the passing of Saint Béthio Thioune. We're following the development from Senegal. If we have any updates for you, we'll be updating you. Follow our Facebook, the Fatu Network, and we will be updating you live from there. But thank you all very much for your time. Until we come your way again, I am Fatu Kamara, and inshallah, I'll be back again tomorrow if Omar is not here on time. Thank you.